Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's been a long time since I sent you a video. Wanted to catch you up on a few things. First off, we have 2 weeks left in the third quarter, and then we'll have 1 week before spring break. So 3 weeks before spring break. When we come back from spring break, we're coming back on a Thursday, I believe. And we will have those 2 days, Thursday, Friday, be asynchronous. That means the kids will not Zoom. They'll have work to do. And that'll be the final 2 days for planning. Right now, the plan is that following Monday, we start having a hybrid schedule for sixth grade. What will that look like? That means if you choose to have your kid come back to school for the hybrid, for 2 days a week, they will come to school rather than Zoom, and they will be in class. In my math science class, I would see them for an hour and a half about, and they would see Miss Mulligan for an hour and a half about. I believe the music electives and PE will still be through Zooms. Okay. The other 2 days that they're not coming on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday. They will be Zooming with me while I teach a class, the other half of kids that are coming back. And we're buying these special cameras that will sort of track us. But we haven't completely decided how we're doing that. It might just be where I'm sitting at a desk and projecting what I write with the document camera on the screen for kids that are here and on a screen for kids that are at home. Something to consider when you decide. I think a new parent survey is going out whether you want your kids here or not. I do want to point out that early on, my feelings on the distance learning has changed. I first thought, okay, this is way harder, right? And it was way harder for me, and I know it was way harder for you. And then I thought, but it's not harder for the kids. The kids used to do more work. And that was the change I made. I have come around to believe that there are parts of it that are harder for a kid. They used to have a worksheet and do the work on the worksheet and turn it in, and that was relatively easy. They just had to do the math or the science. We're now doing something through distance learning. If you don't have a printer, and many don't have a working printer, you're copying things down on a piece of paper, and then when you're done, you have to take a picture of it and submit it to turn in. It's not just putting it in a box. So that's much more difficult. But the part that was a really aha for me in learning and thinking about what makes it harder is I'm giving the kids their classwork, stuff they used to get done in class, to do at home now. And that's not an apples to apples thing, because they used to do that classwork. After the bell rang, they'd come into class and everybody be doing the classwork. There'd be 30 kids in here all doing the same thing. And the big change in that now is now they're doing it by themselves. And if you are anything like me, when you're doing something, when you're part of a group that's doing it, it's much easier to do than if you're the only one doing it. And when they're doing that classwork at home by themselves now, that is a much bigger chore and harder to do than it was when they were doing it in a class of 30 kids when everybody's doing it. Okay. The analogy I use is it's like running or exercising. I've never been a good runner in the sense that I take off, go jogging and get some exercise. It's very difficult for me because I am completely hyper aware that I am exercising. Where if I would sign up for a league and play basketball on a team, I would get a lot more exercise, work a lot harder, but I'm chasing a ball. I'm having fun. I'm playing a game, and a huge difference. So, even just chores. If I'm pulling weeds in the backyard by myself, I'm much more aware that I'm doing work than if I'm pulling weeds while my wife is watering plants, or my son is out there pulling weeds with me and we're talking. You can get through an hour pulling weeds with someone, talking to someone, and it doesn't seem as much like work. It's the whole barn raising thing. You get a group of people together, all work on the same project. It's a fun activity. Painting party. Yeah, so more fun for some than others, but I think you get the picture where they used to be doing something surrounded by a bunch of kids, their peers doing the same thing, and now they got to do it on their own, and that is more difficult. That's something that I wasn't giving them credit for early on that I'm aware of now. How can you help? Well, I made a whole bunch of changes. At the end of October, I just decided I can't teach these kids in this short amount of time. Remember, I get them for 2 hours a week for two classes total. So that's 15 minutes a day, 4 days a week. I used to get about 55 minutes a day most days, and a little bit shorter on our short day, our Wednesday. I'm short, 2 hours and 20 minutes a week per class. How do I do this? Right. So I just started making videos. So currently what I'm doing, I'm making, about 13 videos on average a week. Now, what are those? There's 5 warm-ups. I do a warm-up every day. Please don't encourage your kids to think that Wednesdays are no school days. We have no Zooms, but all the teachers are assigning work. I have a warm-up on Wednesday. I have a math assignment. I usually have a science assignment on a Wednesday. Science, we're only doing about 1 or 2 assignments a week. Math, we're doing 5 assignments a week at least. Sometimes we have quizzes, and sometimes, like I say, the warm-ups are actually assignments now. How can you help your kids, right? Well, I think one of the things they really miss is the structure of school, the bell, everybody going in, the routines. And they would come in and do a lot of work between 8:30 and 3. And not having that structure, not having to work with friends and peers around them, not having a teacher looking over their shoulder and helping them and re-explaining things. That's a struggle. So if you can help your kid with some structure, timers to go off, say you should be doing this. At the beginning of this quarter in science, we had them make a schedule for the week and try to get them to not just schedule in their Zooms, but the time between the Zooms. That's where they had the lack of structure. That's hard for a kid. It's hard for adults to map out their day, and make sure that they stick to what they want to get done. So if you can help them with that, that would be great. If you're checking in with your kid to see their work being done, please be aware Google Classroom has some weaknesses. The kids can click turn in on assignments when they haven't done anything, right? So you can look at their Google Classroom and it says 0 missing assignments. That doesn't mean anything, okay? I have a lot of kids who will, at the beginning, I thought it was accidentally, turn in assignments in which they didn't submit any work. If I don't have anything to look at, if I don't have a picture of the work, I can't grade it. So if it was, most of our assignments are things where they have to do some work and then take a picture and submit. If they aren't doing that and they're clicking turned in, I think they're trying to fool you. Okay, it's not fooling me. Eventually I get around to grading it and I return and say, hey, sorry. So Google Classroom, please don't go off of missing assignments to judge how well they're doing. Now, if it says missing, it most likely is missing, although they can sometimes turn something in and forget to click turn in. So it's on the opposite end. Ask to see, say, show me what you submitted here. Look at the assignment. Okay. If you are going to be looking at the kid's grade, go a little bit deeper and know that they can click turn in without doing anything. Okay. Anything out of the book, the CPM book, that's a difficult book, and it's designed for group work and discovery lessons, both of which we can't really do at distance learning. So we're sort of going through this book for structure, but because of that, the homework problems, it's always a preview and review is what it calls it. I'm making 2 videos for almost every one of those assignments. One video is to get them started, where they can follow along with me. I give them hints on certain problems. I'll do certain problems for them. I'm encouraging them to do it themselves, but to watch when they need help. And then I make another video the next day. Okay. After it's due, it gets released. And that's for them to check their answers. So encourage them to watch that. But if they missed it, they were too busy on Tuesday and it's Wednesday now and they're finally starting Tuesday's homework, well, they can watch both videos. Okay. And what we say is to, get a piece of paper, okay, get your book out, and we say to watch, copy, learn, and earn. Okay. If they do those four things, they will still learn. Now, again, I encourage them press pause and try those problems themselves, but then watch the video and follow along. And I'm making those videos to help them. So even if they have no idea how to do that, they can watch, they can copy, they will learn some things, and then they will earn some points. Okay. So your kids shouldn't have any of the CPM work that's not turned in. At the very least, they turn it in late, and sometimes we take a couple points off. I've been telling them I'm taking points off, but I'm not consistently taking points off. If they're doing that work, oftentimes I'm giving them those points. Okay. Now, fourth quarter, I'm going to be more strict. I want to prepare them for seventh grade, so I will be more strict on the late work. Okay. But just know, every assignment out of the book, there's two videos. Now, Miss Teichman's making videos for us too now, so we sort of share. So they hear it in another voice and sometimes explain it another way, which is beneficial. And again, with the videos, the nice thing about videos, that is an advantage over in-class learning, right? In class, you're sort of spacing out. You weren't listening the last 2 minutes. What did he say? Are you going to raise your hand and say, can you repeat all that? No. At home, press pause, press rewind, play it again. I explained something and it was kind of a little bit unclear in your head. Press rewind, play it again. Okay, that's a total advantage. Your kid missed because they had a dentist appointment or was sick, or you went to Tahoe. A lot of kids going to Tahoe nowadays. Good snow up there, I guess. You can watch it again. You can review what you missed. Okay, so that there are some advantages. These videos, take advantage of them. Have your kid take advantage. Now, the warm up, most of the year has been, hey, please do this warm up. Okay. And even since the end of October, please do this warm up. The last 2 weeks, I've decided to start making my warm ups Ed Puzzles. Ed Puzzle is a website that's available to teachers, and there's a lot of information already out there that other teachers have created. I'm using it mainly. Ed Puzzle tracks how long they watch the video. Okay. And then I'll throw in a question or two, sometimes as many as 5, but usually it's 1 or 2 questions. And it tracks how long they watch the video. If they only watch half the video, they can't get all the points on the warm up. Okay. So encourage your kid to please do that warm up. Okay. The warm up is where I get to review things I think that we've already done that they didn't quite get. And I do a lot of pre-teaching. This next chapter is a good example. Chapter 6. We're going to go through a brand new chapter, and there's kind of only 2 things that we haven't already done is pre-teaching in the warm-ups. And even those 2 main things we've done, the dividing fractions and area of trapezoids. We've sort of been doing that. So if some kids have great integrity and they do the warm up all the time, but some kids, hey, he's not grading it, I'm not doing it, right? I am grading it now. Easy 5 points if they're doing that. So reward for kids who have been doing it because they have that habit. Other kids who haven't, hopefully they develop that habit. Okay, so encourage your kids to do that. When we come back to school, again, it's going to be 2 days a week with a hybrid. So don't give up your daycare if you have 5 days a week daycare. But know that about that. So when you do the new parent survey, know that. And again, please email me or we can Zoom. We can Zoom and meet if you have questions. I really do want to help your kid be successful, not just in 6th grade, but we always say, we have a saying, when I work hard, life is easy. When I take it easy, life is hard. So we're trying to work hard in 6th grade. So when they get to 7th grade, hopefully it's easier for them. Okay. Again, email me, call me, request a Zoom, and let's meet if you have questions. Hopefully this is a good update for you and to let you know that some of the changes we made and some of the ahas we've learned for how hard it is for your kid this year. Okay. All right. We will talk soon, I hope, in person for some.